stand. It's a little after 3 o'clock on Sunday, February 7th. So I am out here today because it is our season closer, I guess, closing day here in Ohio for deer season. And we've got a doozy of a day. So it's, I don't know, about 12 degrees right now. We've got wind, feels like it's coming out of the west at, I don't know, probably a pretty sustained 10, 12 miles an hour, something like that. So it is chilly. I'm going to try to wrap this interview up as quick as I can for that reason. But slipped in, and really more than anything, just kind of to close the season out. Figured I had to give it that last try. I would absolutely love to get a shot at something tonight just to fill the freezer. It's been a really just weird year and kind of tough in a lot of ways. I don't want to say it was bad necessarily, but because I was able to fill a tag and double up on that same day with Dad on that November hunt, which pretty rare thing, and you never want to complain in a year where you're able to do something like that. That's pretty awesome. But outside of that, there just hasn't been a lot of deer movement. It's been pretty slow, and it just seems like things have been off.
And it was an off year for us, just like everything else in the world in 2020. Things kind of went crazy. So anyways, that was Bo wrapping up our 2021 season. He went out. It was an unsuccessful day for him, but I'm certainly sure that he had a lot of fun sitting out there in about 2-degree weather. Anyways, we made a lot of changes this year. We made some changes. This is Paul here setting the camera stand, but we got some stand placements changed. We got some things set up. We're looking forward to this year, what our prospects are. We got a place for Pop. So he is the patriarch of the group. He's the reason we're all here. But anyways, we're going to try to get him out, get him set up in a spot where he can access pretty easy. And we got him a ground blind set up kind of at the entrance of this property. It's down from this about 300 or 400 yards. It's right off the road, really, but pretty rural road. And it's a hunt in a place really where they cross the road, only they come under the bridge and then they come up into this area. So should be a lot of activity there. We'll talk about that later in this clip. Bo will show us what we're doing there and how we get into it. But we just got out. We did stand work this year. Put our trophy rocks out as normal. Got a lot of pictures. Got a lot of good pictures this year. Things seem to be back in sync on this property. For whatever last year just did. It just fit with the world. But everything seems to be kind of moving forward here. We got some pretty good prospects. Show you a couple of those later. But what we're getting ready to move into now is Bo looking into what we did to set up Pop's blind. So we'll let him take it from here.
All right, so it is Saturday, August 21st, just a little over a month before bow season opens. And we are up here today at the North Farm with the goal of putting a blind in. So kind of the plan is my grandpa, who you might have seen on some previous videos, in the last few years hasn't hunted as much. He's had a little bit of difficulty getting in and out of tree stands, so we're trying to set him up a spot with a ground blind. So just picked that up this morning, and Dad's kind of had a spot picked out on the map where he wants to put this thing in at, and we got it as a pretty good combination, I think, of ease of access getting in. It's just nice and flat here, not a very long walk from the truck, but it gets us to a pretty decent spot. So there's kind of an opening here you can see on the tree line. If you look at it from above, we actually had a stand in on the creek at that opening a couple years back before they cut some trees and stuff, and we had to move it. But it is a spot where we've seen deer. They'll kind of filter out into that opening, either coming in from the field or out from the creek, going the other direction. So hopefully we can get him in there where, he'll be at a spot, have an opportunity at some deer, at least see him, and maybe have something within bow range. I think the bow range part is going to be taken care of because I think it's like 17 yards from the edge of the woods to where we're planning on putting this blind in, is what Dad was saying. So we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit thick. We're going to have to cut a lot of stuff, but yeah, we'll get in there and we'll make it happen. And hopefully that'll mean Pop will be able to get out with us a little bit more this year. So with that, let's get to hacking some stuff down.
Okay, so trail cam picture time. We didn't put a lot in here, but we always got to start off with the fawn. You got to love those pictures. Here we got a 10 that we're looking at. He's a pretty good deer. He's about 4.5 years old. I think there's a 9 and maybe an 8 in here, maybe just the 9 point. But we got a couple good deer. They're both 4.5 years old. They'll certainly be targets for us this year. This particular one here, we lost him in mid-October last year. So hopefully that changes this year and he sticks around for us. But just thought we'd throw some of them in to let you take a look at what we'll be chasing. Then we got to get into our annual invitational Labor Day shoot. So we have a little archery shoot, about 10 targets. They're kind of goofy. You'll see them coming up here. Have a lot of fun with it. They're just a group of guys. We shoot together some through the week. We try to. That's not every week, but we just try to throw some goofy targets out there, have a little fun with it. Keep things light for sure, but keep a lot of, there's usually a lot of chatter, a lot of back and forth and some smack talk, but just kind of gives you bragging rights for the year. See what we can do with our bows before we really get into our broadhead setups and get things going. But there's always the annual egg eating, so if you miss your egg, you can eat a raw egg and still get the points, whatever that plays out for. So that's always a fun thing to have in our shoot every year, and here you go with 5 of us actually, because you'll see me at the end. But anyway, so this year our winner was Bo. He took it this year. I believe it's the first year he's taken the archery shoot, but we had a lot of fun. We're wishing you all well this season. Be safe and shoot straight.